What happens when you walk into a Bible based church, you pick up a Bible, and you read it cover to cover in 7 weeks? Find out as I share how I found freedom through faith development. My life hasn't been a cakewalk. I struggled with self esteem and self confidence issues. I didn't think I was good enough, and I always seemed to fall short of my goals. I didn't like myself, but I didn't have to be that way. And it took over 50 years to overcome my struggles with how I felt about myself. Now, I was unchurched for most of my life, and I struggled with gender issues, which kept me from believing that I would be welcome in God's house. I felt less than because I wasn't normal in my eyes. I wasn't like everybody else. I felt like I was just different or I was a freak. And sometimes I would get things rolling, going good, or I'd have some positive things happen for me. And I'd trip over myself because I feared getting found out. Or I got distracted and I ended up putting my focus elsewhere and I ended up failing. I listened to other people that put me down. And they made me believe that I was not good enough or smart enough. I let people bully me because I didn't see the value that I brought to the table, and that happened from being in elementary school all the way throughout my life. I would always run into people that would hit my ego and my self-esteem and just tear me down. And I shouldn't have done that. And I didn't need to do that. But that was fear. And that fear is just not real. It just keeps on hitting you. More importantly, I was my own worst critic. And that fear kept me from achievements, thinking that I would be attacked and knocked down. I would get to a point where I'd be successful, and somebody would come in and try and take it away from me, and they tell me that I wasn't good enough, and so on. And I just wouldn't fight back. I'd be a pushover on it. I finally, late in my 40s, surrendered to my fears of being found out about the gender issues, and I came out to my friends and family in the public as someone who was dealing with gender dysphoria and that I was transgender, and decided I was going to transition from male to female so that I'd no longer have to hide. And I could be who I thought I was. But after a year and a half, I realized in one night in a really bizarre situation that it was crazy what I was doing, that transitioning didn't fix anything, and I stopped the process. I went into fear, wondering when it would come back, and it never did. But I spent another 6 months worried about when that was going to happen, and that made me miserable. And I still had my real problems that were keeping me or holding me back. And this all led to symptoms of something deeper and how I looked at myself. So finally, one Sunday morning, I got invited to attend church, to attend my church that I am a part of now. And I went to the service, and the sermon was incredible, but I ended up walking out with an NLT Bible, or a New Living Testament Bible, that morning. That afternoon, I opened it up and I started reading that day. I was looking for reasons for the gender issues, and I had decided, since I had read all these studies, that I was going to read the Bible cover to cover. I wanted to find specifics on gender issues where the Bible talked about gender issues, but I found something far greater. It took me 7 weeks to read that Bible cover to cover, and that was the beginning of my new life. I got active in launching a recovery program shortly after that, and I started meeting with people struggling with all kinds of issues. I got involved into Rooted and ended up start facilitating in several discipleship classes, and just today I finished my 10th one. I made a commitment to working one on one with others who are struggling, and found a massive change in my life. And working with others has helped me to grow at an even greater pace, because I hear their issues and I can relate to their issues, and help them work through theirs. And at the same time, it helps me to stay clear on struggles that I deal with, and to realize that I just have to give it to God, and that everything will work out. I learned how to love God, love people, and make disciples. And most importantly, well, I shouldn't say most importantly, but what's more is that I did learn to love myself, and I do love myself. It's been 8 years since I came to my church for the first time, and I can say without reservation that I do love and respect myself, which is something that a lot of people don't do, that a lot of people struggle. Their self esteem and self confidence is not there. It's amazing to me how many people deal with these issues and they hide it, but I see it as they come in to work with the recovery program, and as I sat down to work with them in the Freedom of Christ program. That allows me to help others in ways that I needed help before I came to Christ. And the nice thing is I can be there for people that have struggles of their own, of struggles of self-esteem, self-confidence. Maybe they have an addiction, or they're going through a breakup, whatever. But I get to be there and help people, and just help them to find their way to get closer to Christ. There's so many people that I've worked with, either through our discipleship classes or the recovery program, who have gone on to change their lives as well. And it's such a blessing to be part of the journey, to get to watch them change their lives and help other people. I used to be lonely. Most of my life, I was extremely lonely. I would get to the holiday season, and I would have a desperate need to have a partner, to have a girlfriend or wife to be with me at the holidays. I felt less than if I didn't. To be on New Year's Eve and to be with somebody, Valentine's Day, birthdays, and so on, just to enjoy life with somebody. And I've shied away from being in relationships for the last several years, because I've become extremely comfortable with having my relationship be with Christ and with my church, and being in the community in my church. I found that it is far more rewarding than needing to be with a partner. I'm not saying that I won't in the future get into a relationship again, but I just am very comfortable being single, and being focused in on working with other people. It gives me a lot of free time to be there for others who need me, and who I can be a benefit to. And so I enjoy that time. And that keeps me in a position where I'm no longer lonely. I'm not lonely at all. I feel very fulfilled on community and the time I'm with others. And it's fantastic to be there for people who are struggling, and to help them, so that they can build their confidence and security, and they can move forward in that. And that's really important to me. It's amazing what happens when we surrender to Christ and allow Him to use us for His purposes. And that's what I've done. Now, I still make a lot of mistakes, and I do struggle on a daily basis. But again, I love myself, and I give myself grace, knowing that everything's going to be all right, because you know I'm walking with Christ. My life's better than ever, and even my worst day before is let me rephrase that. My my best day before is better than my worst day now. It's just it's so different. I'm so comfortable being myself and being able to share with you and to um, just move forward. I don't worry about things and I don't get stressed out about them like I used to. I used to get so stressed, my muscles would be so tight and I couldn't sleep. And now I can sleep comfortably. And now I'm relaxed. I haven't been to a chiropractor in years, and I used to have to go all the time to get loosened up. I would do anything I could to try and relax, and I don't have that problem anymore. Even when I'm struggling, even when I have things that are overwhelming, I don't have those problems. And I'm so blessed. No matter what happens, my faith in Christ is carrying me through and keeps me focused on working towards living a better life on a daily basis. If you're a follower of Christ who has had a life-changing experience and you've had recovery, you have gone through discipleship training, you're helping others, I want to know about those stories. So if you please share it with me in the comments, I would just love to have that, and I look forward to reading those. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great and blessed day.